Hello YouTube family, Greg D here with TGN, and we are back for another DCUO video, and I've had several requests to do a new ICE DPS loadout. So with this loadout, we're kind of going old school. Now I've kind of played around with this for the last like half hour or so, trying different things, and I found a loadout here. Now this is very old school. This is probably what a lot of people used back in the day, but with the stats revamp and everything, I feel like this is a fast way to do a lot of damage, and that's not super power hungry, which could help out a lot of people, especially if you don't have a lot of skill points. Now, as you see here, this is an alternate character. I only have 103 combat rating. I only have like 130 skill points with this particular character, so the numbers will be lower as opposed to if I was using my main character. But I just wanted to show you the loadout itself and how you do it. So this is for PvE. This is a might specific loadout. So what you want to do is you want to go into Mason. You want to go into your stats points. You want to do super powered. You want to do critical attack chance, critical attack damage, and then everything else into might. You want to spec your generator mods, full might and power. You want to spec your equipment mods, full might and power. And then, as per usual, you want to make sure that you get your one skill point in your super speed movement. You want your one skill point in whatever weapon you have, obviously. And then, as far as the loadout itself, it is from left to right. We have Cold Snap, Bitter Winds, Arctic Gust, Avalanche, Blizzard, the Supercharge, and Wintry Tempest. So Wintry Tempest will be our power interaction that inflicts frostbite on enemies. Then you will just go from left to right in that particular order. And like I said, this is probably one of the loadouts that out of all the powers that I've played with since Stats Revamp, this is probably the loadout that uses the least amount of power, in my opinion. Now, I've seen a lot of people use some things thrown in here, such as Ice Boulder Strike, such as they've used, what's the other one that I'm thinking of? The reflection for a shield, so you can use that if you want a little bit extra protection, if you want a little bit extra of a shield. So for example, you could replace reflection with one of these. So if you wanted to take away one of Arctic Gust or Avalanche, maybe you take away Avalanche because it has a little bit more power cost, you could kind of replace it with reflection if you want a shield. So that is an option for you as well. I've also seen a lot of people use, what is a Frost Blast. Now Frost Blast does take a lot of time. It can hit hard, but it doesn't always hit hard, and I feel like with how fast that you can do this loadout and how fast the damage actually goes with this loadout, I feel like you can make up that damage that you may lose without having that big one crit. And like I said, with this, yes, it does crit hard, but it doesn't crit hard all the time. So like I said, from left to right, so what we want to do is we want to pop our trinkets. So here we go with this loadout. So you want to do Wintry Tempest, and then you're basically just going to go through, and we're just hitting all the powers. And see, like, I barely even used half of my bar. Now, of course, I'm at the sparring targets. You're going to regain power a little bit, but going through that loadout, I used about half of my power, maybe 2/3 of my power. So that's what I mean. Like, you can do a whole shit ton of damage really quick and not use a lot of power. So once again, we're just going to go Wintry Tempest. Then you're going to go left to right. You're going to hit the Arctic Gust. You're going to hit the Avalanche. See, and now you're getting ticks really, really quickly, which is awesome. See, and you can go back to what I do is after I hit Avalanche and that goes through, you can go back to Arctic Gust. And by the time Arctic Gust finishes that second time, everything else is off cooldown and you can go right back through. So, once again, just la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Now, like I said, keep in mind that the numbers will be a little higher once you get more skill points, once you have a higher combat rating. And see, everything is off, so I can just go right back through. La-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, and everything is right back through. So let's actually now, we'll use the supercharge here. Let everything heal up. Heal up, heal up. There we go. There's the supercharge. Okay, so let's get our power back and we'll show you the supercharge. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. And then we'll pretty much be done. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty it's very old school in nature. This is how ice used to be before this whole stats revamp. You could use most of these powers, use your weapon mastery, and ice at one point was very OP. So this is very, like I said, very old school, and I've tried the different ways, and I'm sure some of you guys will say, try this instead and do this instead and do that and that. But you know what, this works pretty well for me, so I can't really complain. So let's pop our trinket here one more time, and we're gonna go straight through again. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna hit avalanche, and then we're gonna hit the supercharge. And then we're gonna hit, and we're gonna hit. So you're getting all these little crits here. But, but. Now, I'd have to imagine that if I was using my main character, for example, a lot of these numbers would probably be in several thousands, not like 4, 5, 600. You'd probably be hitting for, 2, 3, 4,000. Once again, just go right through. Hit your Arctic Gust. Hit your Avalanche. Go back to Arctic Gust. And like I said, by the time that's done, everything pops back up, and you can go through the rotation again. So this is what I have for you. Like I said, very old school. I know I keep saying that, but that's what it feels like to me. This feels like very much like a pre-stats revamp loadout that doesn't use a lot of power, that you can really kind of make work for you, like I said, especially if you don't have a lot of skill points. So, and also, like I said too, there are those options of, if you want to have a shield, I would put reflection in there, or if you want something, if you are a person that does like that high crit damage, like that big one shot, then by all means you could also put Frost Blast in here. You could probably replace Frost Blast with or replace Arctic Gust with Frost Blast. That's probably what I would do, and the same thing goes with Reflection. I probably would throw Arctic Gust out of there and use Reflection. So there you have it, a few options. This is what works for me. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. And until next time, we'll see you soon.